So my name is Evelyn Paramjot.
My name is Paramjot Singh Khalsa.
And together we are Touch of Soul. Well, Touch of Soul is a concept which was created basically by itself, by combining what our passion is, what our work is about. So my specialty is as a naturopathic doctor, Kundalini yoga instructor and psychological counselor to offer people a deep journey into a healing experience as I combine the technology of deep healing such as Reiki, and my specialty is to really go deep into the layers and levels of the physical body, the mind and the soul. And so together, as we combined our work, Touch of Soul was created by itself to treat people's body, mind and soul. So whatever technique we use, our approach is to touch your soul. And so that's what we are focusing on, to help you to find out why and what is the reason of your suffering, either mentally, physically or emotionally. So we work with patients coming with all kinds of disease or problems or obstacles in life, such as addiction or chronic disease, insomnia, depression, burnout. And we offer whatever we can to help people to understand when did it all started. Because it did not start yesterday, it started a long time ago. And maybe you
I came from a yogic background. And this is what we bring also part into the Touch of Soul therapeutic work that we do. There's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom in a yogic philosophy. What yoga can do, what just simple as breathing exercise, which sometimes we think, I'm breathing anyway, why do I have to practice breathing? But are we really understanding what breathing can do for us? Do we really know the depth, the right breathing? And there are many different style and ways of breathing. So what breathing can do to us, especially for example for cancer patient, what breathing can do to help to deal with cancer. I also have a background helping people coming from addiction background, and what yoga, what meditation, what breathing can do to help, how we can help you. That's what Touch of Soul is about.
Yeah, we consider it as a trauma release system we created, because it is known, and it is known in science and medical science as well nowadays, that basically all kinds of disease and disorders are rooting back to a traumatic experience, maybe not in the common sense as we understand trauma, but how we perceived experience as small children or even as babies, and we might not even have a memory. So it affects our brain development, because our brain develops until we are 21. So whatever we experience even in the womb of the mother, being just that tiny little being, affects how we develop certain brain areas. And this is going to affect how we can deal with stressful situation and triggers later on, even as adults. And we might simply act out of repetitive patterns again and again, which is causing internal stress. And internal stress and high levels of stress hormone is affecting your immune system. And over the years and over the time, your immune system weakens, and chronic disease has a chance to occur, to just be there. And effectively, your body is simply sending you a signal. Stop, take a pause, and understand what happened to you and what is causing that eternal stress. Why are you a workaholic? Why do you need to be active all the time? Or why do you have self-harming systems running? Whereas intellectual, like from your intellectual mind, you know exactly, I shouldn't do that, because it's limiting my time span on this earth. But we keep on doing it. We keep on smoking cigarettes, we drink too much wine, we overeat, we do all these kind of things, or even we take drugs, and we cannot stop. So why is that? Yeah. Or we are in harmful relationship and we cannot let go, even though our mind knows so well, I should, but I cannot. So we are sort of like running on an autopilot. And this is causing more stress and more stress and more stress, and it's going to weaken your entire internal system over the time. So sooner or later, either your immune system fails, so autoimmune response will be there, starting maybe with allergies, asthma, and
it's
then
like a time bomb.
It's like a time bomb.
Yeah.
And even we know that usually we all have all the time cancer cells in our body, but usually our T killer cells, they simply eradicate them. They recognize them, they eradicate them, and it leaves your body without causing any harm. But if your immune system is not strong for that, then cancer has a chance to be there. So this is what we are focusing on together, with what we can offer and how we can help and understand when did it all started. Usually people find us after they've been to all the doctors. They might have gone through chemotherapy a couple of times. They might have been in psychological
to
many rehabs, or they have been in psychological therapy for more than 10 years. And they're sort of like stuck. Or they reached a status where they feel, okay, now I have to try something else. So funny-wise, always people know about us by other people. So it goes mouth to mouth.
Word of mouth.
Or they come across us because we are traveling usually the world. So they might meet us in one of the beautiful health resorts we are working with and we have collaborations with. So they come across us. It's like universe synchronize our path when they are ready for our work. So it is for us always magic to just see how people come to us when they need the help the most. How would you see that?
It is, we say in a yogic way, when the soul is ready, the soul seek the teaching. And somehow, sometime those people who is ready, we meet our path, we come across each other. So either like Evelyn said, from word of mouth or from resorts or wellness resort that we go and collaborate with, or some people sometimes found us from Facebook or our website touchofsoul.eu.
Yeah.
So these are the ways.
Mm-hmm. Well, my background is that actually I always did the work I was doing, even though I did not know I'm doing it. I started with practical work such as Ayurvedic massages, Thai massage, singing bowls. And I started always in the countries where these technologies has been taught for many, many years and even thousands of years. So I learned from monks, from Ayurvedic doctors, and usually it is like this, that your life journey polishes you in such a way that you rediscover some skills and talents you have, but you might have forgotten that you have it. So it leads you step by step towards that you remember who you are and the purpose of life you have. So my life guided me from one step to the other, and I was even as a child interested in yoga, because I remember when I was 7-8 years old, somehow my father had a yoga book and I just took it and I lit up an incense stick and I was sitting by myself. So I was interested as a child already in these technologies, and throughout travels to Bali, Sri Lanka, Thailand, I got in touch with these healing techniques. And I was fascinated, and I wanted them to bring them to Europe to help people. That's how I started more than 20 years ago. And as it is in Germany, you need a license for everything, for all kind of therapies. So of course, I decided to become a naturopathic doctor, which is really something. In Germany, you are trained like a doctor because you need all the knowledge. You need to know about the entire anatomy, about the diseases and the pathology. So you go through the entire path. But after that, you have to decide, what do I want to offer? What kind of alternative healing methods do I want to offer? So even before that, I became a Reiki master, which took me 10 years. So it is another internal journey to polish yourself, to be able to channel these energies. And from my side, it is I have a special talent to really feel through my hands what is happening inside of your physical system or emotional system. So I can really sense that and even take it out through my body. So that's something I simply have as a gift. And I can read people quite accurately. So it came one step after the other that I came across a teacher for regression therapy, spiritual regression therapy. And it opened up another path, how I could help people to go beyond. When memories are not there, how can we open up these subconscious layers and even go beyond and beyond? So that's another technique I was fascinated by. And so all of this came at the right moment of time to help me, first of all, to understand myself and who I am, and to be fearless enough to stand behind what I'm doing and who I am. And until I was ready to offer all these techniques as an entire package. And I would say it came into maybe into a conclusion of all of it together when we both met 6 years ago. And that was maybe when I would say we accomplished each other.
We combined our work together.
Yeah.
So for me, I started yoga when I was 7 years old. I was sitting like this in India. I remember I was in my grandmother's place. And I was sitting and I was just doing some stretching, doing some practice, and somebody came and say, "Oh, you do yoga?" I was like, "Ah, you call this yoga?" I didn't know that. Okay. And somehow I met so many people doing posture here and there, and I was like, I'm interested in doing this. I started seeing pictures. I started trying to copy the yogis, and I met so many yogis, luckily, as I was in India those days. And when I came back to Thailand, where I was born, I was so much interested in Buddhism, as around me was temple, and I hear always the monk chanting these beautiful morning prayers. So I was interested in meditation, and somehow my life came into this path where I wanted to learn this. But of course, I came from a business background, so I went into doing business for my family, but life took me into that flip that I got a job in addiction rehab. And when I went there, it was not to teach yoga, but when I went there, I found out that, oh, these people would really benefit from what I learned as what is called Kundalini yoga. These people would really benefit from this therapeutic way of helping them. So I offer to teach Kundalini yoga to my patients in the rehab. And it gave them a fantastic experience. And it gave me a fantastic knowledge that I would like to learn psychology. I would like to go deeper into this. How do I really help these souls? How do they understand, and how we can change their life so we can bring just that smile and joy into their life. And that's how also we brought addiction recovery into our work, and we combine our work and we enhance this together.
But isn't it true? I think you agree that actually these teachings come into your life when you need it the most, as it happened to me. Like I had 2 burnouts myself, and I tried all the normal ways how you can help you out of that. So I tried everything what the doctors recommended, which didn't work for me. Absolutely not. And also my old patterns didn't work anymore. So I had to face something which just brought me to Kundalini Yoga, for example, and it helped me out of it in just a quick time. And even the doctors were surprised to just observe that. How is it possible? So it is always like you have to suffer maybe from some crisis, which is like a wake-up call to understand, wait a second, I was running into the wrong direction. In my case, I wanted to belong to the normal world so much, corporate world. I tried everything. And I could succeed, yes, but I was living against my nature. And I was always so sensitive. So I could always feel people's emotion far too much. And I had to torture myself so much to be part of this normal world. And so I believe that actually these teachings and opening how to help other people comes from a deep inner feeling, a calling.
It's a call.
And sometimes, yes, you might experience some crisis yourself to understand what people are going through. And for us, it's a passion. What we are doing is like a passion. And I believe wherever there's a passion for what you do, it will always just guide you through that journey just by itself. You see, we love actually people who are very skeptical, and we had so many people sitting in front of us coming from managing background, just focusing on the intellectual mind and just believing what they can touch and numbers and you can name it, people who are really not interested in spirituality at all, which is absolutely fine. These techniques we are offering is for everyone, and it doesn't mean that you have to believe in anything, not at all, because it will work by itself.
I can share a story. There was one guy who came to me, and he, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Russia, and he came to me and he said, I saw you and I'm curious and I want to have a session with you. I said, okay. You teach meditation, right? I said, yeah. Okay. I said, have you tried meditation before? He said, well, I went to this center where they put a machine on my head and they asked me to sit and I meditate. I was like, oh, you meditate through a machine? He said, I think that's a meditation. I was like, okay, let's find a different way of meditation. We did one meditation, very, very powerful meditation. And after the meditation, I asked him, I said, how did you feel? He said, wow, I'd never felt what we did now. I never felt this through the machine. I said, of course, the machine is not doing what you can do through this practice. And these are sometimes examples of people who never knew meditation. There are people who can't sit still, restless. Forget about spirituality, they can't sit. How do we help them to relax, to sit? And we love this kind of challenge because we see that this tool can pierce towards any category, any kind of people.
So that's it for now from our side, and we thank you so much for your attention and that you had an open mind to listen to our little talk about us and what we are doing. And
so you can check our website touchofsoul.eu. We have a whole list of our treatments, programs that we offer. And if you have a question or if you don't know which one to choose, just drop us an email through our website and we can guide you. We can have a talk, we can have a conversation, and we can guide you what in this current situation where you are at, how we can help you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Sat Nam.
Bye.